As the list of Genshin Impact characters continue to grow with every new patch, the number of stories and lore can begin to feel massive and overwhelming. I mean, who has the brain capacity to remember details about every single character anyway? So let me do you a service and explain the lore of all the playable characters in Genshin Impact in less than one sentence each. Main character gets isekai'd and looks for his sister, but spends most of his time running errands for random NPCs. Peaceful synthetic human created with alchemy, but secretly has the power to annihilate the entire world. Buff introverted bookworm lives to ignore everyone because he takes crap from absolutely no one. PlayStation collab gone wrong. Police officer that does everything by the books but repeatedly breaks flight regulations on a daily basis. Entertainment over 9,000. Intellect negative 9,000. Mysterious doctor secretly makes a deal with the snake to live longer only to help others by slowly killing himself. Idol with a voice that can heal people but doesn't even know what an idol is. Hot pirate warlord who actually has the power to split a gigantic monster in half without even needing the power of a vision. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. On paper, just a cool 4-star character, but in actuality babysits 3 5-star characters. Self-proclaimed news reporter but probably more suited to become a YouTuber. Actually an insanely powerful exorcist that ironically has never seen ghosts because they all ran away fearing for their lives. Hot guns, thighs. Happy and wholesome character on the outside, depressing and traumatic backstory on the inside. Unrivaled and powerful general of the military, but spends most of his time watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And explaining why his jokes are funny. Literal boogeyman that only shows up once a year, only to leave us with nothing but questions and actual answers. Portrayed as an absolute legendary mercenary inside the game, ironically breaks immersion by being a mediocre character. Basically Batman, but actually gets things done without needing an entire movie. Underage bartender cat, but absolutely hates alcohol and everything about her job. Classic Hoyoverse scam artist. Vengeance, that one girl from Vocaloid. Third sibling that everyone seemingly forgets but unironically has the coolest headgear. Not an actual princess, just Amy. Sensitive kid going through puberty but still has to act like an adult because of responsibility. Goat gets eaten by a monster, decides to go on a diet and lose weight because the monster died of asphyxiation. Dog likes fish, dog hates fox. Always talks about the importance of the cycle of life but gives out coupons for funeral services so her business can thrive. Saber, but Genshin Impact. S-tier character, S-tier personality, S-tier backstory. Why the hell have I not pulled for this character yet? Suspicious pirate man with an identity crisis, still can't tell if good or evil. Wet socks. Genius architect unironically gives up everything he owns for the sake of art. Intimidating perfectionist and a workaholic but actually likes shopping and dressing up. Amazon Prime. Child with the power to level and destroy an entire city but instead spends most of her time fish blasting. Statue of Her Excellency. The almighty Narukami Ogo graduated law school top of her class but ends up babysitting children her entire life free of charge. Always sleep deprived and can't stay awake because her other personality wakes up at night to get everything done. Hot lazy librarian who rather drink tea but is one of the smartest people in the entire world. Sibling turned evil, refuses to tell us why, who, what, where, and how. Assistant that's cooler than the actual magician. World-class magician with never seen magic tricks but keeps telling everyone how he pulled it off. Basically, Chocobo. Filthy rich astrologist turns dirt broke because she spent all her money buying crap ton of books. God who takes privacy law seriously but continues to read people's minds on a daily basis. Badass mafia boss that surprisingly gets things done but constantly cries while doing it. Dragon man who can't understand human emotions somehow ends up in a position that can judge all humans. Pretty girl, spends a lot. Super rich businesswoman throws away her $1 million home only to build the exact same one because she's too rich to care. Knight in training throughout her entire life but honestly does more work than all the knights combined. Flying food that knows absolutely nothing but understands practically everything. Her Excellency, the almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder. Razor is wolf, Razor is friend. Edgy nun turned assassin or assassin turned edgy nun. Literal mermaid with unparalleled military tactics, all learned from reading books that are accessible to everyone. Ninja who decides to perfect the concept of stealth so she can sleep without ever getting caught. Cold and hot waifu with the baggage of homicidal tendencies. Detective punches things because cool. I think I saw this character from Pokemon. A genius who couldn't figure out what she was proceeds to spend an entire month stalking a cat for answers. Mr. Worldwide that travels the entire world just to fight random people. Memed as a homestay husbando, but actually is a good husband material. Cloud Goblin that was unintentionally so popular in school, he was suspected of leading some kind of a cult. Wind Spirit that spends less time as a guardian deity and more time as a chronic alcoholic. Edgelord who wants to kill all gods, only to become a god himself to get deleted from history. Warden punches things because hot. Basically Genshin Impact's Gordon Ramsay, if Gordon Ramsay Ramsey had a stuffed animal that was actually a god. Spends his entire life fighting corrupted gods only to get corrupted himself, but somehow managed to stay sane after thousands of years of suffering. Second son that's actually smarter than the first son but refused her short. Self-taught musician who literally made her own instrument, her own stage, and writes her own song, all in the name of rock and roll, baby. Pretty fox lady goes around teasing everyone just because she knows she can get away with it. Unrivaled world-class lawyer who is secretly aspiring to become a rap artist. An honest and caring child but constantly goes around littering radish everywhere she goes. Hot secret agent. World-class pyrotechnician casually teaches children how to make explosives. S-tier celebrity in traditional play secretly goes to rock and roll concerts because she's getting bored. God spends 3,000 years minting money for the entire world but ends up retiring absolutely broke. And that's all the playable characters so far. Now, let's continue to several notable characters that are not yet playable or just interesting in general. Spends his entire life working for a grumpy old king, gets fired to ultimately work for a sexy ice god. If evil, why hot? Monopoly man. Rich hot glasses man wants dominion over the world's entire financial market because he never got a gift from the gods. Hot sexy mom still can't tell if good or evil. Crazy girl obsessed with making dolls. Ashes. Chad mystery man who's actually peaceful as opposed to his crazy ass co-workers. Crazy ass co-worker. Lady of Fire, literally hot god of war. Please dear god stay alive. One of the few people in the entire game that actually has a goal and is taking real action. Emergency food nearing expiration date. Basically, retired grandpa's waifu. Electro Archon that actually mattered. Redacted. Spent his entire life trying to save his people but ends up killing himself because he was killing his people. Goddess of Flower, Lord of Flowers, Mistress of Dreams, Queen of basically just a Sealy. Still spends every single day acting as a doppelganger even after a literal god gave him a free therapy consultation. Why didn't this game release 3,000 years ago? Why didn't this game release 500 years ago? Basically a depression materialization of a fox girl that should have been playable 500 years ago. Death probably more tragic than actual playable characters. Backstory probably more tragic than actual playable characters. NPC with a vision because the power of dreams and memories or something. Comedic relief that transcends the concept of good and evil. Giga Chad breaks through the curse of mind disintegration purely because of the sense of duty and responsibilities. Teaches Mr. Worldwide how to unga bunga because of innate dark mysterious potential or something. Ungodly powerful witch that spends more time coming up with summer vacation plans rather than actually helping everyone save the world. And that's the whole list. Now, if you love a particular character and they're not on this list, let me know who they are with one line of description in the comments below because I'm actually curious about what you think. Also, clearly this video was made during the Fontaine patch cycle, so if you enjoyed this video, maybe I'll make an extended version with newer characters in the future. I really hope you enjoyed this video and hit the like and consider subscribing if you did, and I'll see you next time.